So we're here at the Venus Lounge, which is the studio that you do your podcast out of.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a bit about that, and also any other current or upcoming projects that you have?
Yes. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you being so interested in what I'm working on and
Of
taking
course.
your time to come out here. I really appreciate that. So right now I'm totally focusing on Fight Dads, which is a boxing series that I'm currently pitching. And it's about 5 boxers and the relationship with their fathers as they rise through the ranks of the boxing, game out here in Oakland. And it's my directorial debut, where I'm just focusing on directing and the image. And I've partnered with some wonderful women out of LA called Magic Lemonade, a production company out of LA, Ricky Hughes and Satira Moore, who have come aboard to do the producing of it and the writing of it. And so we're partnering to put this series out, and I'm excited about that because I love boxing, love sports, and it really is focusing on masculinity. I feel like right now masculinity is getting a bad rap, like it's just toxic. Every time you hear masculinity now, you hear toxic, and masculinity is also divine if it's guided. And I feel like these young boys deserve for their masculinity and their energy to be celebrated in a format that requires sacrifice and discipline and humility and vulnerability, and also celebrates fatherhood. It shows these men who are invested in their son's life to raise them as men. It's a rites of passage. It's a way to celebrate their energy in an environment that doesn't make them feel that it's too aggressive or, it's art. And I'm really excited about it. My son is a boxer, my husband boxed, and my father also boxed. So I'm really connected to that, and that's a project that I'm working on. And then the Venus Lounge is just something that is just for me. I'm still figuring it out. It's something about music. It's something about women. It's something about healing. It's something about politics. It's something about art and culture. It's about, sipping on a little something and shooting the shit. I always say it's conversations, vibrations, libations. It's something about collaborating with my longtime writing partner, friend, bestie, James Rockefeller. We're always working on something together. It's a blessing to just have someone where you be like, I got this idea. And then be like, yes, and then we can do this. And then like, yeah, and then we can do this. And that's Rock. Like, I'll toss him an idea, or he'll toss me an idea, and we just be like, and. There's never like, nah, but sometimes, but for the most part. So I love collaborating with him on that. And it's, here at Where Media Meets Studio in Oakland, which is a fantastic creative place for me. And it's just something for me. I've always worked on other people's stuff, other people's projects, helping them, expand their brand, or, helping them expand on their vision, or creating some visuals for them, or producing. And this is the first time that is something just me. Backstage Pass, I was working with Marcel, but this is just my thing where I can come in, do what I do. There's no pressure. And so I love it. I just came up with that concept, the Venus Lounge. Actually, it was the Mercury Lounge. And then
that's a club in New York.
Well, it's because I'm a Virgo and planet Mercury rules Virgo. And then as it started, I was like, yeah, but it's something about women and empowering women and healing, and like I love like fellowshipping or womanshipping with women, and like, promoting them or whatever. And Rock was like, you should call it the Venus Lounge. And I was like, he goes, because the Venus Lounge, that's women. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to call it the Venus Lounge. And so I changed it to the Venus Lounge.
So it's got a new time now. It's on Thursdays, right?
On Thursdays, right. It used to be on Fridays at 7, but I just felt like we do cognac confessionals here at Where Meeting Meets Studios on Fridays. Deshaun James on Facebook Live, and they always end up going for 2 or 3 hours, which is great. But then, my show comes on before, and then Rock is like running back and forth between both shows. They go long, and I like to be on that show too sometimes, so I changed it to Thursdays.
And it streams on Facebook.
Facebook Live. I'm going to be uploading it to YouTube and Instagram, and recently just was approached by KPFA to start streaming it on their social media platforms also. So it'll give the podcast a lot more visibility. It'll make me be a little more focused and intentional about the content and the guests that I have. So it'll be on their Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube channels for KPFA.
You mentioned there about like the importance of women and like sort of supporting one another.
Yes.
So what do you feel like to bring up other females, or do you think that when women see what you've done, that you inspire them?
Oh, I can't tell you how many women have come here that maybe have come through the studio or that have called me in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. We've came here in fetal position, crying, holding them, praying on them, supporting them, burning candles for them, giving baths. Like, there's a whole thing that's been going on here in my studio. Young women who call me at all times. I do a lot of mentoring behind the scenes, just as a 55-year-old woman who's had a lot of experience, and see the struggle that a lot of young women are going through. They trust me, and I've been doing it behind the scenes anyway. So it's just natural. I'm the oldest of 3 sisters. I just feel like at this time, women are very powerful. When women get into a space, we alter a space. We're the ones that determine what the space will feel like, how the space will be, whether it's your house, your job, whatever space. Women bring a certain type of energy into a space. And I feel like on a lot of levels, we've lost our power, our feminine power, for various reasons that I won't get into, but I'll talk about it on my podcast if you join in on Thursdays at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. And I feel like, there is power in feminine energy that doesn't have to be aggressive. It doesn't have to be loud. It don't have to be in your face. It could be something that's more sit back. And I also feel that because we are outside of our power, that is confusing the men. And we ultimately, we determine where the communities are going to go, how the future is going to be by the type of men that we choose to have our children with, how we portray ourselves in certain spaces, and also teaching the men how to treat us. And so those are some of the things that I will be talking about on my podcast in a loving, thoughtful way, in an accepting way, and also just from what I'm hearing, different women are asking me when they call me, about their frustrations in relationships and wanting, the things that they're encountering with men and how we take accountability for some of those things.